All right, so now we're going to talk about how to drape the robot. So there's two drapes. So there's an arm drape and then there's a monitor drape. So this is the arm drape. It's kind of bulky there. And then the monitor drape is square and flat. So pretty easy to kind of figure out which is which. So I like to start with the arm drape first. So let's go ahead and open this guy up. If I can get my fingers to work. It does come with a set of instructions. However, I'm not that good at following diagrams like that. I was a kid, I never read cartoons, and this looks like a cartoon of some sort. All right, so we'll open this up, dump it on the back table. All right, so now there is a way to put this on. So just like scrub techs, they just start pulling stuff apart. And I'm like, no, not yet, no. So there's a way we could put it on inside out, and it kind of becomes more tricky that way. So I like to kind of always have a good starting point, so that way I don't get turned around and be upside down some sort of way. So there's an arrow here. I like to make sure this arrow is closest to my body, all right? So I don't want it away from me, I want it closest to my body, and that's a good starting point. So I'm gonna let Jasmine do it. So I'm gonna have you open up that way. Yep, and then take that arrow and open up that way. Perfect. So now, there's some tabs on here. There's a bunch of tabs, but I only want to open up 2 tabs for the most part. So I'm going to have you pop that tab right there. And then over here, I think at the bottom. Okay, because eventually we're going to walk over and place it onto the arm, but when we put it on, I don't want everything to just fall down, so that's why I only did 2 tabs. So that way we have more control over it once we get to the arm. So what you're gonna do now is in the middle, so you see this blue ridge here? I like this ridge to be right here, like this. And then when we go digging in the middle, you're gonna look for hands. So look for the hands, and she sees the hands right there. You can see that in the video. So you see the hands there. Right above the hands is a thicker part of the drape. So you feel that it's nice and thick compared to the rest of the drape. So this is the part where you're going to grab here like this. So this piece here is basically going to slide over the arm over here. All right. So you're going to grab that like that, but then you're going to pull this in like that, and you're going to walk over. Like so grab this. This is the most important piece here. Grab that. Now you're gonna, now we're gonna walk. This is a 2-person job. So you're gonna have your circulator or unsterile globus person that's gonna help out. And she's gonna walk it back, and I'm gonna help her walk it back. So here, once she grabs there, and now you can kind of let these fall. Yep, like that. So that's why I didn't break all the tabs, so that way it doesn't fall all the way to the bottom. So then you see this blue ridge here? I'm gonna get underneath here to help her walk it back. So now I'm underneath like this. And now she's gonna walk it back. Yep, keep walking it. Then I'm gonna have you stop right there for a second. I'm gonna have you zoom in to this little piece right here. Jasmine, you can point to this piece right here. Don't pull it though. That looks like it should come apart. It's designed that way. So don't pull that apart. Just leave that intact. It looks like it's kind of bunched up there. So leave that just like that. So then I'm gonna continue walking back. And then now Jasmine can start to break some of those tabs underneath here. So sometimes we try to shake it out, but she has easier access to kind of pull those down and shake them down, so that way over to the side. So I'm just trying to get these so that when I come back here, those are out of our way. So she'll shake those. All right, so now I have this blue elastic band here. I'm going to stay underneath. I'm going to come back here, and the unsterile person is going to continue to try to shake some of this out. And then there's Velcro straps back here that we just kind of Velcro these together so that they stay. And we'll do this back here all the way down as far as we can. So back here, you know, it's okay, we'll consider this all unsterile. all we really want to maintain is from here going forward that sterility. So at this point, Jasmine, what you'll do is I like to kind of rotate this so it's horizontal like that. And then here's the important piece here. I want to make sure that this is nice and baggy right in here so that arm can articulate and move without this being so tight and it gets pinched. Then you have a strap here, and I'm going to have you just sit right here. Or was it on the other side? Yep. So pull that off. And then, so here I kind of keep this loose. I kind of slide this back a little bit like this. There's an adhesive on the back here. And just keep it loose right here like that. So that way I can still have freedom here for this. All right. And that's essentially what you're going to do to drape the arm. All right. So now let's talk about the monitor. So we'll pull the monitor drape out. Again, my fingers don't like me today. Open up, again, another set of instructions. If you choose to torture yourself. This guy up. And again, it's all about starting point for me to keep this kind of easy and not get turned around. So we'll see the hands. We want the hands closest to your body like that. And then you're going to come here and here and open up. And open all the way up, so fold it out. Notice now the hands go away, right? So there's no hands showing. We don't care about the hands at this point. So we only care about the hands in the very beginning. Once we open up, hands go away. We don't care about those. So now we have some tabs. And in this scenario, I want you to break all the tabs. So there's tabs here, here, at the bottom. So there's 2 and 2. So there's, yep. Yep.
All of them?
Mm-hmm. So I like to make sure we get all these tabs nice and popped. All right, so now we're gonna go digging in the middle again. And this time, what we're looking for is, I think it's the third one. And you notice here, look how it's edged right here. And it's edged over here. So what you're gonna do is slide your hands up, grab it. Yep. So it's almost like a mayo stand covering Muppet, or, you know, like you can kind of squeeze it, and then we're going to walk over to and I like to have this lower because I never know the height of my person that's putting this on. So Jasmine, you're a perfect example. So to make this easy, we'll have you go from the bottom up and over. And again, it's a 2-person job, so I'm going to come underneath, help pull this back like this. And then for now, I'm just going to focus on the front, and we'll talk about the back a little later. So when we get here, what you want to do is pull this like this, okay? Jesus, what? We did this yesterday again, some kind of way. I don't know how you did this. Okay. Here we go. We're right now. All right. So even though it says top here, because we went in from underneath, this is fine. All right. So this is fine. Just so I prefer to put it on this way. So note before we do that, the main goal here is to get this as flush and tight as possible. Right. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to squeeze all the air out. All right, so I like to do a big gator chomp and get all this air out a little bit. And then I'm gonna have you come around here to see there's a drawstring over here. I'll have you come to the other side. And we see this drawstring here. So now we got a lot of the air out, right? And so all you're gonna do now is pull this drawstring out really tight. You're gonna wrap it around really tight. Yep. And then you're going to wrap that around really tight. Keep wrapping and wrapping and wrapping. Keep going. Yep. Just keep wrapping. Tight though. Pull it tight. Yep. Keep the air And then at the end, there's an adhesive stick. Pull that off. Then you're going to stick it on there. Keep that. All right, so now we're going to focus on the front. So at this point here, what we're going to do is we're going to take these straps to help us get a little bit tighter. All right? So I'll do one side first, and then I'll let you do the other side. So at the bottom here, what I like to do is take the adhesive off first. So we're going to do this separately, not at the same time. So I'm going to pull this off. So nope, don't do it at the same time, because it's about balance and tension. So here I want to make sure I get this nice. See how I'm pulling this here to make the front more tight. So as I pull here to get that, now I'm going to pull up on here, and if you come around here to see where I'm going to attach this, now I'm going to, if you do it just right, it'll stay on that black like that. All right. So now I have part of that. Now you're going to do your side to get the rest of that slack and tension. Yep. You got it. And perfect. So now this is nice and tight, because what we want to do is avoid, it being baggy and bulky, so there's no glare. They can drag and drop things and do whatever they need to do on here. All right. So this is the most important part. And if these straps that we just put on here, if they pop off, you can put anything on here to make it stick and make it tight. The ultimate goal is to have this nice and flush and tight. So however you need to accomplish that, you can go ahead and do that. So at this point now we have another strap here. Pull this off here. So again, this is a two-person job. So the person back here this whole time would have been holding this to make sure that it stays sterile. And so she'll do that, and don't do it so tight, just kind of medium loose. Nope, that's too tight. So just a little bit like this, and there's an adhesive on there. Like that is perfect. Then the unsterile person back here will just cinch this off like that. And then I'm going to drop this inside there like that. And then I'll ask the scrub tech to then just push the monitor in like this to tuck it in like that, so that when we come in it's not sticking out and you're not worried about getting contaminated. So now we've draped it, and the last thing we need to do is put the end effector on and verify the end effector. All right, so let's do that. Actually, let me see here. So this is something that you shouldn't have to worry about, but I'm just going to, the code here, it's 4 zeros. Come in, I'm going to go to a preloaded case already that we've been working on. Again, this is more of the extreme dirty details to get in here. It's touchscreen, so the surgeon won't be able to do anything. They want to, you'll pick the type of case you're doing, whether it's pre-op, intra-op, what screw system you're using here. You have Creo MIS selected, which interbody solution you're working with. So you have, various different components here that we can interact with. So again, focus is not here. I just want to kind of get back to our verify page here. So to kind of go back to the beginning, when the circulator or the Globus rep pushes the robot into the room for the first time, they undock it, they power it up, boot it up. They'll come to this screen right here and leave it right here. So now you're opening up your back trays, putting your instruments together, and at some point you say, all right, I'm ready to verify my instruments, right? So now we'll be on this screen here to verify instruments. So at this point, we can verify our instruments. And let's see here, what's the best angle for you to kind of see all this? I'm going to move this guy a little bit this way. And we're going to come over from this direction over here.